everybody accepts this recording. Let me just say thank you, everybody who's joining today, everybody who's going to be watching this in the future on YouTube and on all of the social media outlets. This is a really rare honor for me to get to introduce such a wonderful project from Rush Arts Philadelphia. So I just want to encourage everybody to go see the gallery in person. Go to Rush, check out this show. It is phenomenal. It will blow the top of your head off, okay? We've been working with Wanda for years and years and years now, and her skill and prowess as a professional artist has only ascended day by day like a rocket, right? And we're just all so excited, thrilled to watch this ascension, to watch Wanda's, valuable skill be elevated to the degree that it deserves. So I want to start out just by saying thank you, right, to Wanda, you, Tamara Mason for Rush Arts Philadelphia, and Dawn Stringer for facilitating. The show is phenomenal, Wanda. It's called Art is Love. Wanda and I collaborated on the curation of the show. It was an amazing experience. I was able to come out with so much artwork that was just, ready for the world, ready for, successful works of art that were ready to show, that it made my work as a designer and as a curator in like laying out the show just a pleasure and so easy and just gave me so much joy to be a part of it, directly working with your art. Is such an honor. I want to also point out that Wanda and I have another project coming up that she was the lead artist and the main kind of visual talent in a collaboration with her, Sheena Garcia and Pauline Houston McCall, for a huge mural that's going like in the City Hall of West Philly, which is 56 and Market Street, right? And that's going to be coming up next year. The design has been approved by Mural Arts Philadelphia, and we're all just so thrilled that that's going forward. So thank you for everybody that's collaborated on that project. It was a huge collaboration, but once again, as is the case with this project, Wanda's talents were center stage, and I just can't wait, for all of West Philly to get a hold of what we're going to deliver here. Is really exciting. So without further ado, I'm going to stop rambling and running my mouth, and I want to turn this over to our now trusted and proven, fire-tested facilitator of our artist talk, and just a champion of Black abstractionists and artists, emerging artists, as well as just phenomenal talent in her own right, Dawn Stringer. And I just want to say thank you one more time to you, Dawn, to you, and to you, Tamara Mason, our curatorial associate at the gallery, who, without whom no things are possible. So thank you, and I'll turn it over to you guys. Please enjoy the artist talk. Happy Sunday.
Absolutely. You too. Well, happy Sunday, everybody. Yet again, we are on the Rush Arts Philadelphia platform with the illustrious WandaPayne. I had the pleasure of meeting Wanda at the I Can Do That show held at Rush Arts Philly back in 2019. 2019. Where's that? No, that was 18.
Ooh, yeah,
wow.
18.
It was 18.
18.
Yeah, it was definitely 18. And we had an instant connection in the world of abstract expressionists. I've been impressed with her work since day one. Most definitely a fan, most definitely honored, as I stated, to facilitate this talk for you. We're just gonna jump right in. Tell us just a little bit about your practice and your inspirations, and how did you get started in creating?
Wow, how did I get started in creating? As I was talking with Tamara earlier, my process really, I have to say, has always been therapy, has always been healing without even knowing it, Yes, you do draw and you enjoy it. It's meditative, it takes you away, but I did it more than other children because that was my safe space.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that said, I'll just hint that there was some trauma in my early childhood.
Okay.
And drawing became my voice. It literally became my voice. And to help with the healing, my mother, still my number one fan, made sure that I was involved in anything, absolutely anything related to art. It was nonstop. It never stopped. So yeah, that was my practice, and that's how I started. As far as now, I'm working 40 hours, So what I do now, people laugh, but when I paint or draw, I may be doing it for maybe 30 minutes to an hour a day, and that's it. All of these have been created by using that process.
Okay.
And yeah, you can actually get a lot of work done just by touching it for 30 minutes, literally 30 minutes.
So how did COVID affect your creativity? We
Wow.
had a brief discussion back a couple years ago about that. Do you find that you created more or you didn't create as much during COVID?
Wow.
Or during the initial shutdown?
COVID was, wow. I'm still little reeling over what was and what wasn't done, having to do with COVID. Because I feel so much. That first 2 weeks we were home from work. Okay, I was painting, I was drawing, and then all of a sudden I just stopped because I'm like, oh my God. I remember making a video. Oh my God, I'm gonna die. Oh my God. So with that said, I became like a part of the millions who just found themselves on the sofa watching Netflix. And I'm gonna die. So I have to say my creative process stopped. And I have a friend / coworker, his didn't. He just shot through it. And so yeah, that's what happened to me during COVID.
So when you create now, do you find that things are more ritualistic, or are you just going straight in, or what is your process when you begin to paint? Are there things you have to have in place when you begin?
Okay, well, when I create, depends on if I'm creating for a particular project or if I'm creating for an idea in mind. Okay, I'm a little freaky about this. Things have to be cleared off because I have to be able to see it. I have to be able to reach for it. If I can't, it hinders the process.
Yeah.
But most of my work is literally a stream of consciousness right now. So it doesn't matter what's around or what's not around. If it's something that's just very organic, then it doesn't matter. It could be a bottle link, it could be something else, it could be, it could be anything. So yeah.
So do you find that process is different now because of COVID, or?
It's more, COVID has given me more of a immediacy. I have to, because I lost 3 months that I could have been, and I'm still a little salty about that, but it's okay.
Don't be, because the thing is, you're pulling from that era. Yes. During that shutdown. Yes. So don't be salty.
Yeah.
You're just kind of rerouting yourself a little bit behind that. And you're pulling from those things that happened during COVID. And that's still part of the healing.
Yes. So right now I have to say that I am more deliberate. It's like, okay, had a hiccup, saw it happen. Now let's continue, because as an artist, everyday people don't realize, sometimes we think art every moment of the day. I'm
Absolutely.
walking down the street, I'm working out a section on a painting, or it's constant. So I have to say, during COVID, my brain just relaxed, and I didn't, I couldn't think about it.
Yeah.
But now it's almost like it's even more intense. I'm almost restless right now because
Are you
it's like
comfortable with where you are with that restlessness? Are you comfortable with that?
I am comfortable because this is actually pushing me. It's
Yeah.
pushing me. It's
Great.
pushing me. So it's like, it's not like restless, but oh, well, I'll just let it wash over. No, restless. Okay. How can I now find other things to do? Or what else am I willing to try? Because I'm still finding new materials. A lot of artists will get comfortable with certain things, but no, it's right now, I just want to touch everything.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. What are your favorite mediums? What mediums do you use? And what are your favorite choice mediums right at this particular moment?
Basically, favorite. There are favorites, and then there are mediums that I can do safely at home because my studio is at home. And so for right now, acrylic, that's like the number one. Any type of water soluble ink, permanent inks, scratch material. I will be or have been experimenting with collage also. But yeah, anything that's basically water soluble and can clean up.
So how do you balance so many different mediums like that? How do you master so many different mediums like that? Do you just go by what makes you feel a certain
work at an art store?
Work at an art store.
Girl, I've worked at an art store all my adult life. I started there was a store in Center City called Taw's. I was there about 5 years. Then I moved over to Pearl. I was with them for about 6 years. So we just finished or started our 6th year right now at Artists and Craftsmen. So yeah, you can go shopping in my studio.
I had a ball in that store. I know that much. Al Johnson took me to that store when I was in Philly, and I got lost in that store. That store is awesome. So I totally get it. It's all about experimentation a lot of times.
Yeah, and also by me having constant conversations with other artists, oh my gosh, you just, what? I get to work here too and talk to other artists?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the gears are always running. Really is. Sometimes I have a hard time going to sleep because
oh my God, yes. It's hard to turn it off sometimes. So I know we talked briefly in the opening about where you were a figurative artist initially. What was that defining moment that led you into the beautiful world of abstract painting, though? I know you mentioned that you gone through some trauma and that the drawings helped. So what led from the drawings into the actual abstract world?
All right, I'm laughing because I'm going to say it the way, because I love humor. I love humor. A bad breakup, baby. Bad breakup.
Touche, I get it.
When you're trying to draw and things are heavy and you're just in your head with wackiness, doing a circle, doing lines is the easiest way to get right to the meat. So I remember, I'll never forget, within 2010, 2011, started doing basic line drawings. I just bought a pack of Sharpie markers and a white pad. And I just did lines. And then eventually I started adding color because now I'm relaxing and I'm working through what I just experienced as far as life, so yeah. And which led me to abstract. And had you told me 20 years ago that I would be an abstract painter, what? because I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
How do people do that?
Yeah.
They do that because they go within.
Absolutely.
And they're still applying all of the same design principles, all of your foundation. And it took me living it to get it. So now I can go to a museum and actually see these abstracts and actually understand.
Yes.
Yeah, because I just knew I was a figurative painter, it's like that.
Too many rules, way too many rules, and artist freedom. So I noticed your title. How did you come up with the title of your show?
Art is Love. Oh, wow. It bounced back and forth between Art is Love and Art is Life. It's more so my mantra. Again, 2010, 2011, I had to start loving me again. I had to. If I was going to survive, if I was going to see another decade, I had to, start caring for me again. So my brother and I were talking, and he's like, you know what, sis? You need to put that on the t-shirt. I'm like, okay. Yeah. So that's how. So I try and lay it. I'll put it on little things or little, probably in one of those. But yeah, it's the way I feel now.
So as artists, especially as Black female abstract artists, what obstacles have you encountered throughout your journey, and how did you divert yourself around those particular obstacles?
It's interesting. Growing up young, Black, and artist, when I would go to these Saturday classes as a child, I was usually maybe the only female.
Okay.
Maybe one of 5 or 10, or but the majority of these classes were mainly males, except for some of the summer camps were actually evenly balanced. But yeah, so it's always been. It just is. It just is. I don't know why, but my mom, she actually did a good thing by directing me in this direction.
Yeah. Well, I did select a few images that I kind of wanted to talk about. Tamara, do we have those images available so far? Yes, Art is Life. Let's talk about Art is Life. This is a very, very detailed piece, sis.
Do you mind if I turn this around so the audience
do what you have to do.
Okay.
Yeah, do what you have to do.
So I'm going to do that. Can everybody see?
Hey, crowd. You have a really nice crowd too, Wanda. Welcome.
Okay, Dawn, I'm still here.
Okay.
What's your question?
Just give us a little bit. What was the inspiration to Art is Life? I know you have a lot of different mantras. Tell us a little bit about the technique and what Art Life and what this actually means to you as far as inspiration.
Okay. Again, working on this piece says nothing more delicious than scratchboard. It's soothing, it's meditative, it's calming, it's satisfying. You're scratching off little pieces of black ink. It's just, it's very much like popping bubble wrap. So yeah, with that, I was able to relax and just kind of envision and meditate on a positive future, because a lot of times when I do create abstractly, I also have images of things going on in my neighborhood. I also have images of poverty and also of poor education and just wanting people to do better. So yeah, you can actually see some actual figurative things in that piece.
Yes.
But yeah, Art is Love.
Nice. Yeah. Let's go with the next one, Tamara, please. Angel Boy, absolutely
Angel
beautiful, beautiful
Boy.
work. Let's talk about Angel Boy and the inspiration to Angel Boy. Beautiful work, Wanda.
Thank you. Angel Boy was early on, maybe 2003-ish. This is when I had connected with a women's group that I'm still part of called Women Holler.
Okay.
And yeah, we were basically women artists, maybe a handful of us. Most of my women artist friends in this group, they had kids. And
Okay.
at the time they were toddlers. So we would kind of watch each other's children while someone could paint.
Okay.
And we were getting ready for a show, and there was something that had been on my mind because around early 2000s, I started to hear in the news more and more of young Black men being shot. Not just by the police, but basically by each other. And it was a inner cry. So it's like a lot of the boys that I painted during that time, they all had wings because to me, I never knew which one I wasn't going to see again.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so that's actually where that came from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's deep, Wanda.
Yeah, thank you. A lot of people don't even realize that those are wings behind him, but yeah, it's just it's a deep sadness that we all have to take responsibility for. So yeah, it gets a little deep.
Yeah, but that's fine. That's what it's for. That's what it's supposed to do. It makes you think. We have one more image that I wanted you to speak about. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work. You know me, I'm an abstract girl at heart. Let's talk about Joy.
Joy. Okay, Joy is actually, for those who can't see it on the screen, Joy is the one maroon bottom, but it's right up on the top, black piece. Joy is joy. Felt like a circus. It felt like fun. I acquired this particular paper, and so it takes chalk and it takes dry mediums well.
Yes, most definitely.
So yeah, so it's like that's actually what was on my mind. Just festive, a party, and it just felt light and airy. So yeah, she is.
There's a very childlike feel with the lightness of the colors.
Yes, I just let it go.
And the movement, yeah, it looks like you just went for broke and just felt really joyful. Not to sound, redundant, but very, very excellent piece. I love this piece, Wanda. I didn't even know they made chalk paper.
Yes.
I need to come get a job at that art store. Is what I need to do because I've never seen chalk paper before.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are there any artists that inspire you?
Wow.
Whether it's dead or alive, it doesn't have to be anybody, anybody that's dead or alive.
Okay. Wow. I can name all of my contemporaries. I can name, wow. Let's just go back. Just hearing stories of, because as a Black child of working class family, just to be able to put a face to what an artist is or what an artist looks like was so important. Eventually, later, their ability and their skill set became more important. But early on, there was a neighborhood guy. He was a painter, plus he also sold sweaters. It's so funny. I was thinking about Mr. Melvin today, and so Mr. Melvin, I have an uncle who also is an amazing painter. Again, just being able to put a real face to it, because you don't see artists when you're growing up. And, I had a conversation with a young woman on a train. I was telling her about this place. She's probably in her 30s, and she says, wow, Black people paint. And
Wow.
it's
Yes,
just
yeah,
like,
we do.
oh, but yeah, but just think about that.
Yeah.
That's not a part of her world, that she doesn't make that connection. And
Right.
to think about artists who were traveling artists and artists from the WPA era. A lot of them were actually African American artists whose
Mhm.
pieces are actually hung in these state and city buildings, and they are faceless and nameless. So yeah, so to just put a name to it.
Because growing up, artists were unobtainable. You just didn't know
Yes,
anybody outside
yes,
of your elementary school art teacher.
yes, that's it.
You didn't know anybody that was actually creating and selling work and
Right,
creating a following and a fan base. That just wasn't anything that happened.
right.
Um, does anybody have any questions for Wanda so far? We're going to open the floor up a little bit, whether you're on Zoom or in person, if there are any other questions. So Wanda, I know when we first met, we were talking about how difficult it is to get people to kind of be able to understand and process abstract art, especially non-representational abstract art. Has that gotten any better for you, or you just kind of still go with the flow of things and just do what you do in spite of other people not really responding or being receptive?
It's interesting. That's a good one. I'm smiling because early on, when I started working at the store 6 years ago,
Mhm.
the area of the city in which Artists and Craftsmen is located in is a heavy, I want to say, landscape and barns and flowers. Nothing wrong with that
Right.
type of style. But people would ask, oh, uh, so what's your style? I would say non-figurative abstract.
Mhm.
And originally the response would be, oh. So
Right.
it's
Right.
like,
Because
but
they're looking for a portrait. They're looking for a
right,
portrait.
right.
No shade on portraits.
No shame on it. It's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful skill set. So now, because I have been working diligently at this, and I have, um, you know, um, my work is up and it's being viewed.
Mm-hmm.
The response is different because now these same folks have seen my work,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, oh, she's for real. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm for real. So yeah, it's actually different now. It's different. It's more, people are more engaging now because
Mm-hmm.
they actually have seen my work and they see the power and the strength behind it. And yeah, so
Noah, he mentioned that you had the mural project going on. Let's talk a little bit about the mural before we take off for the day.
okay.
How did that come about?
Okay, mural arts. Okay, I did a collaboration. Okay, Noah approached me because
Mm-hmm.
Noah Smalls is a curator, one of the curators for Rush. He approached. He said, "Wow, I know you had some issues with mural arts."
I'm digging the impersonation right now too.
So basically, he said, "I will be with you every step of the way." That's what sealed the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I worked with mural arts 20 years ago.
Oh wow.
Um, and I didn't have the voice that I have now.
Okay.
So although I enjoyed the process and watching it, there were times when I had least two or three solo projects, but most of my projects were either with the children or with other artists. But I didn't feel supported, so that was an issue.
Yeah.
And I explained to Noah, going forward for this project, I need to feel supported. And he did that. So with that said, I was able to pick two of my friends, Pauline Houston McCall, as well as Sheena Garcia, and also Women Holler. So I asked them to collaborate.
Okay.
So I did the main design. Sheena did her magic. Pauline's going to do her magic, because not only is the mural going to be on the side of this supermarket, it's also going to have a small garden in front of it.
Oh, beautiful. Nice. Excellent.
So yes, it was a wonderful process. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. And I also got to work with a Philly poet, as well as her daughter.
Okay.
And her words are going to be entwined within this piece. So yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, they will start painting soon, I guess.
Nice.
And it's right in my neighborhood.
That's awesome.
Right in my neighborhood.
Because we, like I said, we've talked throughout this whole crazy time here and there, and we both kind of had some issues with actually getting together and painting again. So I'm so glad that you're out of I won't even say the doldrums, out of the matrix, or
Yes.
for lack of a better word, and you're able to do your thing again, because the world most definitely needs your work. This has been a very terrific, I've met some dynamic folks from Philly. I feel like I'm an honorary Philly resident. I'm still trying to get my way back down there, and I will very, very soon. I've met some magnificent folks, and you most definitely, my sister, have been one of them. So again, I am honored to sit in this seat and moderate this talk for you and be a part of this journey and this story for you. If no one has any questions, I'm going to go ahead and log off, and so Wanda can get back to doing her thing and everybody can enjoy their Sunday.
Dawn, I would like to do one thing. I have to also share with you very intricate piece to this puzzle of why I am where I am. 2017. I met a woman at the art store by the name of Sylvia.
Okay.
This is Sylvia, everyone.
And hi, Sylvia.
And we talked about art. And I told her, oh, I would love the show again, And this woman said, well, why don't you?
Straight to the point.
And I'm like, well, I'm not in a gallery. Well, I'm going to take out my phone, and on such and such date, you're going to call and tell me you have a place that you're going to show your artwork. Had a friend who had an empty apartment. Walls were white, ready to go. Gave him $200. I threw my work up on the wall.
Nice.
I let Sylvia know. She came along with, so many people. That was a blessing.
Yeah.
That was such a blessing. That was such a blessing. You did that. We have words that empower each other. I wouldn't be with Rush had we not had that conversation, because I took off from there, because I was shy. I never thought to, what? You mean I can rent some? And I did. And I was blessed for it. So yeah, you guys had to know that story. I love a good story.
You were supposed to put those people in this story in the beginning. Those are intricate players and all. For real. Those are your foundation people for your story all day.
Yes,
So
yes.
I thank you guys for that, because this work needs to be shared with everybody. Everyone. So I thank you guys. Sylvia, I forgot your other person's name, but thank you, Sylvia, because you started it. See what you started?
You're so deserving.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
You
you.
were so deserving.
Thank you.
Yeah. But again, I'm glad that our paths have crossed. I love your work. I've been a fan of you and your work since
Same.
day one. You know, I walked into Rush, we instantly connected.
Yes.
So yeah, I want to thank again everybody at Rush. Thank everybody for tuning in today and for showing up for Miss Wanda's talk. It's been a good one for sure. Love great art conversations. Where can folks see more of your work, Wanda? Shoot out your Facebook, and are you on IG at all?
I'm on Instagram.
Yeah, shoot
Wanda.
your handles out.
Okay, Wanda, no pain.
That's cute. That's cute.
Yes, it's spelled, you know, my first name, then N-O, and my last name, Payne. Again, part of the process.
Yeah, for sure. You have a website yet, Wanda?
Not yet, working on it.
Okay. All right, and you're just WandaPayne on Facebook. Give Wanda a follow if you haven't already, folks.
Yeah.
Dynamic work.
Thank
So
you.
again, I want to thank everyone for coming. I want to thank Danny. Hey, Danny, for popping in. Thank Noah for once again having me on board to moderate. Rushing forward, folks. You have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys soon.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye.